So welcome everybody to Gift of Legacy, which is more than just a prosperity game. We've just got a little disclaimer that we like to say. You guys can take a picture of this. I'm just going to read through it quickly, but this is for information sharing only. Neither myself, Chris, or any of the other presenters are registered financial advisors. Nobody in the Gift of Legacy group that we know of is a financial advisor. Also, all the information that we'll be sharing is to give examples of what a member may expect, and it's important to understand that there are no guarantees. The success or failure of any member will really depend on your willingness to come to Zooms every day, attend the training, and then you'll be able to help others and follow the ethical principles of Gift of Legacy. Always remember that it remains an individual member's responsibility to ensure compliance to tax laws in your country. So I know we had a few people asking about more details about tax. Look, in South Africa, if you are gifting somebody over 100,000 Rand within a 12-month period, you do not have to pay tax, and it is the gifter's responsibility to pay tax. So just go and do your homework. You can just look it up on the internet. It's really, really easy. Just look up Stokvel. Even FNB has got, gifting as an option of bringing in income. And then also just remember that we're a decentralized platform. We have no third-party affiliation, ownership or partnership with anyone. And if you are joining Gift of Legacy via a third party or as part of a package, please do so at your own risk. We are 100% peer-to-peer, and no funds ever get paid to the platform. All funds are always paid from member to member, and it also only occurs when you're landing on a member's board.
All right, so introduction to Gift of Legacy. Now, Gift of Legacy is a prosperity game with an incredible algorithm built so that everyone can ride the boards of abundance. Today, you're going to learn how to receive in abundance by blessing somebody with $100 once off. You're going to learn a very well-kept secret, a gifting economy, which we're going to go through now, which has changed the lives of millions of people around the world. Are you ready? Here we go.
So who is Gift of Legacy for? Well, times are changing. People don't want to sit in traffic anymore, and they don't want to go and work for a boss anymore. And people want to help each other. Everybody that I've met wants to help each other. And their big why for joining a program like this is so that they can help those around them. So it really is a principle of sowing and reaping. It really is amazing to gift and receive. And I mean, how does it get better than blessing someone that you don't even know? And then you can take control of your life and help more people succeed in their lives. So if you answered yes to any of the above questions, we are ready to get you started.
All right, so what is Gift of Legacy? All right, now, I want you to play the world's most exciting prosperity game and change your life while helping others to succeed. As Candice was saying, the world has changed. The world's not going to go back to the way it used to be. You hear people talking about the old normal. There's no such thing as the old normal. And people want to give. That's just human nature. But what happens is when you give and give and give, you're depleting your basket of fish. So with a gifting economy, a gifting community, what we do is we basically give people fishing rods. And what we do, when you give a man a fishing rod, you then teach him to feed himself for a lifetime. And that's what we're going to be doing. So Gift of Legacy is a prosperity game. Now, during your years of growing up, you've played Monopoly, you've played Trivial Pursuit with family and friends, and we've all played different types of board games during the course of our lives. And what Gift of Legacy is, look at it as a game where you are uplifting yourself and you're also uplifting others. It's inspired by the sacred gifting economy. Now, what is sacred gifting economy? Sacred gifting economies have been around since 1967 in the USA. Now, a sacred gifting economy only crossed my path in the beginning of this year in January. And I've been in all different types of businesses during the course of my life. And I can't believe that a gifting economy only crossed my life at the age of 46. I'm thinking to myself, I don't live in a cave. How could I have missed it? I wish it crossed my path much earlier on in life. But everything happens for a reason at exactly the right time. I was talking about gifting economies being around in the USA since 1967, but here in South Africa, where a lot of us are on the call, there's a thing called a stokvel that Candice mentioned just now. That is tribal, that is Ubuntu. Now that has been around for decades and is 100% legal off of the mainstream system. And gifting economies have been blessing millions of people worldwide. In fact, the amount of money that gets circulated, it's kind of like you can look at it as redistribution of wealth, is in the tune of billions of US dollars annually. And it is decentralized, most importantly. If you look at decentralized, what Gift of Legacy is a website that manages game boards. Now we're going to go through it in a bit more detail just now, how all of the boards work. So there's no company, there's no institution, there's no broker, there's no trader. There is no third party institution controlling your money. That goes straight into a peer-to-peer system. So what does peer-to-peer mean? Peer-to-peer means person to person. So you're not putting any money into a platform or into a company's account where a company then redistributes it. This is person to person, peer to peer, which I'm going to explain as I go through how the boards work. And then the most exciting part is the perpetual system. What does the word perpetual mean? Perpetual means ongoing. It means never ending. It means passive. That is what the word perpetual means. So I want you to just remember that word when I start explaining the boards, the word perpetual.
So Gift of Legacy is more than just a prosperity game. Like I said before, you know, the old way was getting to the top, doing whatever you could to get to the top and staying there. And you know, you just keep pedaling that bicycle for other people. Here, we really do help each other grow and succeed while supporting one another. And really, nobody will get left behind. Gift from your heart, share the love, guide your team, become the legend, and build your legacy. We're a community with the same goal. We all want to change lives, and we are changing lives every single day.
So now you're thinking to yourself, okay, what is Chris and Candice going on about? We're talking about this prosperity game. So we've spoken about Monopoly, we've spoken about Trivial Pursuit. Now we're going to talk about the prosperity game. All right, how to start, how does this work? You enter Gift of Legacy by gifting $100 into a self-perpetual system. Now, this is the one and only time that you will ever take a cent out of your own pocket. The gifting is purely peer-to-peer, and 100% of the gifts are paid directly to you. So the way that it works is any gift that gets paid across to another player on the board, what will then happen is you can do the gift in whatever you both chosen as the best way of making the payment. You can use PayPal, you can use Wise, formerly known as TransferWise. You can do a bank transfer to each other if you're in the same country, and you can even use crypto. There's no middleman, no third party ever gets involved, ever.
So this is just a little teaser of the 4 boards that Chris is going to explain. So there's 4 boards, and remember, like Chris said, you only need $100 and you share with a minimum of 2 people, but 2 like-minded people that understand the value of getting 2 like-minded people. So you start off with your bronze board, you enter with $100, and once you get all of your 8 gifts, you exit with $800. Now, Chris will go into a little bit more detail with what you keep and what you need to keep in your pocket and what you need to use to pay forward. Your next board is the silver board. And that is your $400 board. So you enter with 400. After you get to legend and you get all 8 gifts, you exit with $3,200, which takes you to your next board, the gold board, where you enter with $1,600 and you exit with $12,800. And then our fourth and final fabulous board, the platinum board, $5,000 entry, and you exit with $40,000. How does it get better than that?
All right, that's what we call riding the boards of abundance. So what I want you to do is I want you to focus on the orange circle in the next few slides. This represents you on your journey. As we mentioned, you enter with $100 into this prosperity game. Once off, it's the one and only time you'll ever take a cent out of your own pocket. You share a gift of legacy with the like-minded, like-hearted people who are going to do exactly the same. As Candice mentioned, there are 4 boards that you're going to go through: the $100 board, the $400 board, a $1,600 board, and a $5,000 board. You're going to journey from gifter, builder, guide to legend on all 4 of the boards, which I'm going to go through more detail now. On your journey through the boards, you are going to receive gifts along the way, totaling $42,700 in your first round of going through the boards. On your perpetual journey, that word perpetual, I'll explain to you what that means just now. That is like a bonus board. Every time you go through a perpetual cycle, you're going to receive gifts in the value of $49,700, and that repeats over and over and over. Right, get ready for the ride of your life. Here we go.
So before Chris explains the journey through the boards, I would just like to explain the role of each position. So you enter as a gifter, and that's exactly what you are. You come in knowing the rules of the game, knowing exactly how to play. And when you get on, you contact your legend and ask him how he would like to receive his gift. Once all 8 gifts are in, you go into a builder position. A builder is exactly that. That is where you are focusing now on building your amazing team underneath you, and they are going to ensure the success. So it's really, really important that you build properly and you make sure that the people traveling with you are going to support you and vice versa. When you become a guide, now you've already got your 2 people that are building underneath them, and you're going to guide them and nurture this beautiful family that's growing underneath you. Lastly, the other thing that you do when you're a guide is you control all the admin that's in the back office. So you are going to be the person that connects all the dots literally on the board. You're going to connect everybody that's playing so that you can all work together. And then when you're a legend, you're going to receive the abundance in the form of gifts from 8 players that will enter as gifters, just like you did.
Okay, so if you look at this board, you'll see that there's 15 spots. And that's once you get onto a game board to start playing the game. If you look over here, this on the left-hand side, this is your left hemisphere. And over here, this is your right hemisphere. All right, to get started, you will get a referral link from the person who invited you to come for the ride on this exciting journey. And what happens is you register. And once you register, a little block is going to come up on your back office. And it's going to give you the details of the legend on the board. And what you do is you make contact with a legend and you say, "Hi, my name is Chris. I am a gifter on your board. How would you like to receive your gift?" This is what I was talking about with peer-to-peer. It doesn't go onto a system. This is a person-to-person, individual. This is what you decide together, how you want to receive the gift. So they can turn around and go, "Well, I live in South Africa. I bank with whatever bank. Would you like to do a bank transfer?" Once the bank transfer is done and they've received the gift, they then accept you onto the board and then you're ready to play the game. Or you can do, as I mentioned earlier, PayPal, crypto, especially because we are going to be going global. So that'll be one of the easiest and fastest forms of payment. So if you look at the orange circle on the top left-hand side, this is when you come onto the board. Then if you look on the left hemisphere, there's 4 spots. Once 4 gifters come in, you're then going to move up to the builder position. Another 4 gifters come in on the left-hand side. You then move up to the guide position. And lastly, when all 8 gifters come onto the board, every single time a gifter needs to make a gift, guess who's going to be getting the money? You're going to be getting the money. You're going to get $100 times 8. So you're going to receive $800. So there we go. You've just finished your first round of the bronze board. The way it works is you're going to receive a total of $800. Now, what you need to do is, as Candice mentioned, there are the 4 boards. So you're going to hold back $400. If you look on the left side, you're going to hold back $400 for your silver board. And then what you're going to do is you're going to hold back another $100, which is going to go into your perpetual board. Now, your perpetual board is your bonus board that's going to keep going over and over and over, which I'll explain in a bit more detail now. So the gifts that you are going to keep in your pocket is $300 once you've been through the first bronze board.
So just to explain it in a different way, your first bronze board, you're going to put 100 in. You're going to keep 500 aside, 300 in your pocket. $400 will go onto your silver board. Sorry, $100 will go into your perpetual board. And when your perpetual board is going and you get to senior to legend position, you will receive $700 that you can keep in your pocket, and you only use $100 over and over and over again. Then you're going to use the $400 for your silver board, and you're going to keep $2,000 aside because you're going to use $1,600 to go for your gold board, and you're going to use $400 for your perpetual, which leaves you with $1,200 in your pocket. Then on your silver board, when you get to legend position again, you will receive 8 times $400, which means you get $3,200, and you will get to keep $2,800 in your pocket each time it is going in motion. So just to recap, on your first round, you receive 800, you keep 700, and you re-enter with 100. So that's perpetually over and over and over again.
Okay, then the way I love to explain a perpetual board is with a Ferris wheel. Look at it this way. You've all been to an amusement park and you want to go for a ride on a Ferris wheel. So what you do is you go and buy a ticket for $100. And what you do is you go around and you enjoy the ride. Once you finish the ride, you walk out and you get given $800. Then if you want to go for another ride, what you do is you put $700 in your pocket, you take another $100 and you go for the ride again. This is the easiest way of explaining perpetual. So if you look on the left-hand side, the moment you've finished your first round, the perpetual board comes up. And then what you do is you gift the legend on the board again. You go through the cycle. As you know, you receive 800, but this time you're putting $700 in your pocket every single time. Once you've been to your first round of your perpetual boards, another $100 board comes up. And as you know,
and Chris, do you need 2 people for this? Do you need 2 people each time we go into the board like this?
No, you don't. I'm actually glad you brought that up. I'm glad you brought that up. No, you don't need 2 people. As we were saying right in the beginning, you gift your $100, you get 2 people, and that's it. You're ready for the ride of your life. 2 people only. That's it. And it keeps going over and over and over like a Ferris wheel to infinity. Right, then on the silver board, as I mentioned to you, once you go through the boards, you get onto the silver board, which is your $400 board. Exactly the same thing. What you do is you contact the legend on the board, which will be a whole new, a different person. You then contact them and say, hi, my name's Chris. I am a gifter on your $400 board. How would you like to receive your gift? Once you've paid the gift over and they're happy the way they've received it, they're going to accept you onto the silver board. Then, as I mentioned, once 4 gifters come in on your side of the board, you move up to builder position. Then once another 4 gifters come onto the board, you then move up to guide position. And then lastly, once you are at legend position, every single time a gifter comes onto the board, you are going to be the one that receives $400 times 8, which is a total of $3,200 in the form of gifts. Now you've just finished your first round. So what you do is you receive $3,200, I want you to look on the left-hand side of the screen. That is your gold board. So what you do, your gold board is your $1,600 board. So from your 3,200, you hold back 1,600 to go on to the next board. And then what you do is you hold back $400 to go onto your perpetual board. Remember I was telling you about those roundy boards that keep going over and over? You get that on the 400 board as well. So the gifts that you are going to keep, that you're going to put in your pocket, is $1,200 once you've finished the first round of the previous board.
And you know, this is where the real fun starts, because now you're not only getting 8 times $100, now you're getting like way more than what you first started with. So just to recap, on your perpetual board, when you're gifting 400 and you're receiving 3,200, you now get to keep 2,800 because you no longer need to use that 1/6 to go forward, because now you're just going over and over and over again.
So can you see where the exciting part is? It's one thing to go through your first round of boards, right? But where the passive comes in is when you are going on the perpetual boards. That's where the magic happens, the perpetual boards, because once you've been through your first round, you gift $400, you go through the cycle, you receive 3,200, and what you keep in your pocket is $2,800 once you've been to your 400 perpetual. Once you finish the 400 perpetual, another one comes up. You gift your 400, you go through the cycle, you receive 3,200, and you keep 2,800. And this keeps going over and over and over to infinity. Then you move to the gold board, exactly the same drill. What happens is the back office will tell you who the legend is on the board. You contact them, you gift your 1,600. Once they're happy with that, you get accepted onto the gold board, the 1,600. As I mentioned, you get 4 gifters that come in on your hemisphere. You then move up to builder. Another 4 come in. You then move up to guide. And then lastly, when you get to legend position, when you get to legend, every single time a gifter comes onto the board and gifts you $1,600, it's going to come into your bank account or your crypto wallet or your PayPal account. That's a total of $12,800 in the form of gifts. Now, this is the exciting part. This is the exciting part. Once you've finished your first round of the gold board, you received 12,800. Look on the left-hand side of the board. That is your first round of the platinum board, the 5,000 board. So you hold $5,000 back to go onto the platinum board, and then you hold 1,600 back to go onto your gold perpetual board that also goes round and round. The gifts that you're going to put in your pocket through the first round of this of the gold board is $6,200 that you're going to keep in your pocket.
And I must say, if you get to keep 6,200, 5,000 is really easy to give away. And then when you're on the gold perpetual board, I mean, it just gets better and better. You receive 12,800, but you get to keep $11,200, guys. $11,200. And all you need to do then is just keep putting $1,600 back in as your gift to the beautiful legend so you can carry on.
And that's on your first round. And then you go perpetual. You gift your 1,600, as you know. You go through the cycle, you receive 12,800. And as Candace said, you're putting 11,200 in your pocket. Guys, do the math, work out the exchange rate there. That is a lot of money just going over and over and over again to infinity. And then, this is the exciting part. You then contact the legend on the platinum board. You go, hi, I'd like to gift you $5,000. How would you like to receive your gift? They're going to accept you onto the platinum board. 4 gifters are going to come in on your side of the board. You then move up to builder. Another 4 come in on the left-hand side. You then move up to guide. And then lastly, when you get to platinum, legend on the platinum board, every single time a gifter comes onto the board, they are going to contact you to gift you $5,000 times 8. Guys, that is $40,000 in the form of gifts. You've just gone through the first round and you've received $40,000. And guess what? There is a perpetual board as well on the $5,000 board. So what you do, you keep $35,000 in your pocket and you re-enter onto the perpetual board with another $5,000.
See, this is the gift of legacy smile because it's just the gift that keeps on giving and giving and giving. And I mean, I think honestly, even if you're in the States and you are earning dollars, this is still amazing. So like Chris said, with the perpetual on this one, it's exactly the same because now you don't need to use anything to move forward onto another round. So you're going to receive 40,000 and you're always going to be able to keep 35,000 because you're going to re-enter with 5,000 at a time. But I pledge, and I'm saying this to everybody, that when I'm on the $5,000 board and I get all of my gifts, I'm going to put one of my gifts back in so that I can sponsor people and help change lives.
That is a commitment that yourself and all of our leaders are doing, because let me tell you something, that is how we are going to make such a big difference in this world. We're going to make a huge difference, because check this out. You gift your 5,000, you go through the cycle, you get 40,000, you're keeping in your pocket $35,000 every single time you go through the cycle. Right, then Candice is just going to do a quick summary of everything we've just gone through.
So just to recap, we're going to start with going on the top line, which will explain you going through the first round, and then the bottom line will explain the perpetual. So $100 in, you're keeping 500 to move on. 400 is going to go to your silver round, and then you get out 1,200. 16 is going to go for your gold round. You get out 12,800. 5,000 is going to go in for your next round, where you get 40,000 out. And then with your perpetuals, remember, when you have left the board, oh, that's also something I wanted to mention. When you are finished and you become legend and you leave the board actually retires. And that's why new boards open up. So you can never actually go back to a board and kind of do something there. Once they're done, and you move on. And when you go into a perpetual board, you just get put somewhere where you need it, and you give your $100 and you get 8 times $100 and you keep that $700. The same with the silver, it's perpetual. So you are putting in your 400 and you are getting 3-2 out and constantly keeping 2-8. As well as with your gold, you enter with 1-6, you get out 12-8 and you keep 11-2. And then lastly, with your platinum, like I said before, it's $35,000 over and over and over again.
All right, so you got the rules of the game. As we've spoken about, you've all played board games before. Imagine you go to the shop and you buy a brand new box of Monopoly, and you get home, you take the cellophane off, and as you open it, there is a instruction manual. Well, not an instruction manual, but just like a couple of pages on the rules of the game. Now, it's exactly the same with Gift of Legacy. It is the most simple system I've ever seen in my life. You gift $100 into the system, and all you do, minimum, is you introduce 2 people to Gift of Legacy. That's all. That's the minimum of 2 people. Then what happens is, once you get to the legend position of the board, what will then happen is you received all 8 of your gifts, $800, but then what's going to happen is you won't be able to go up to the next boards yet, which I'm going to explain in more detail now. And it's exactly the same on the perpetual boards. Perpetual board is the one where you're moving over to the $100 board that goes over and over and over. So the fail-safe system that we have in place has got to do with the unique algorithm that Gift of Legacy has. Now, when we talk about getting up to the next levels, what traditionally has happened in gifting communities, sorry, I'm just a little bit distracted because somebody is drawing on the screen. If you don't mind, I'm just going to quickly stop share and open it again. Whoever it is, please, if you know that you're doing it, please don't draw on the screen while we're presenting. That makes it very, very difficult. There we go. Is it back on, Candice? Right.
Perfect.
Okay, cool. So the fail-safe system that I was talking about. Now, what will happen is you saw the first round of boards that you go through. That is your round one. When you get to the legend position, you're going to receive all 8 of the gifts. If you have not invited 2 people, what's going to happen is we use the word sideline. What does the word sideline mean? Sideline means that all you're going to be doing is you're going to be still on your back office, but you're just going to be moved over off of the board. Why? The reason for that is because, as we mentioned, the rules of the game is you gift you $100 and get 2 people. So what will happen is if you have not invited your 2 people by the time you get to the legend position, what will happen is you're going to cause a blockage. So what will happen is you get moved to the side so that the people that are playing the game, the momentum can still continue. At any given time, the moment that you have registered 2 personal people on your name, you move straight back onto the board and everything keeps flowing properly. So somebody asked about that last night. So we just wanted to explain what the word sideline means. It's nothing negative at all. It's actually very positive, because previously in gifting communities, what would hold the board back is somebody that has not got their 2 and blocks it. This just makes it flow beautifully for everybody. Would you like to add on to that, Candice?
Yeah, I think it's just beautiful to think of it as a sacred pause, because, you know, you got to the top, you got to legend position, you weren't able to get your 2. And then if you weren't able to get your 2, you know, you either sponsor 2 people in, or you take that sacred pause until you're ready. And then all you'll need to do is, when you're ready to play again, you just gift that $100 and you bring 2 people. So just some more game rules on cloning. Cloning positions only become available once your first organic position has successfully advanced and been confirmed on the silver board. The first cycle rule applies to all clone positions. And for every clone position, you will be required to bring 2 or gift in 2 new positions. And that is because you will always need in this system something to push you further along. So it's always going to need people to join. We'll never go far if we're not joining people. So the cloning is a huge advantage, though, because your clones will follow the first organic position, which creates additional momentum. So as you can see by the diagram, when you have the option of choosing to clone, your clone 1 will follow the board 1. Then your clone 2 will follow clone 1. Clone 3 will follow clone 2. And clone 4 will follow clone 3. We are actually doing deep dive training this Saturday at 10 o'clock, where we're going to go through cloning in a lot more detail.
So I'll cover it very quickly. Where you saw when I explained the boards, your first round of boards, your $100, $400, $1,600, and your $5,000 board. Once you have received, once you get to the guide position on the $100 board, you then have the ability to clone your position. What is that? What does the word clone mean? The word clone means duplicate. That's all it means, which means that if you would like to, you can open up another position within your back office. That's all that really means. You're opening up another position. So what would be required of that? Once you open up your next position by cloning, you will be gifting the guide on the board $100, and you've got to register 2 people. Now, this is different to your perpetual boards. Cloning means a duplicate of your current position within your back office. What then happens is your clone 1, that whole lineage will follow your first lineage, pushing it up, giving it momentum. So what will happen is your first clone position will follow your original lineage. So you can clone right up to 4 times, which means that your second clone follows your first clone, your third follows your second, and your fourth follows your third. Now look at this picture very carefully. The first time I looked at this, I kind of like just went, my mouth dropped open, because think about this. You can be cycling on 20 boards simultaneously at the same time.
And never mind the 20 boards. I mean, if you just want to do simple maths, just look at the 5,000 boards and multiply 35,000 by 5. I mean, geez, that's amazing. So when it comes to fast tracking becomes available only once the guide position is achieved. You'll also only be able to fast track once you have your 2 people. And once your fast track is activated, your organic position will duplicate on the silver board, which will give the advantage of cycling simultaneously. So your previous position will then go perpetual on the bronze board. And the return in gifts is $42,700 if you decide to do this.
So if you decide to do that, what would that cost to fast track? Your $100, your $400, your $1,600, and your $5,000. And as Candice mentioned, once you're at the guide position at the $100 board, you can do this if you want to. That will cost $7,100 to go right up to the top. And guess what? What you're going to receive in the form of gifts is $42,700.
No bank's ever going to give you that much, no matter how long you leave it in for. So what makes Beautiful Gift of Legacy so unique? Well, firstly, it's user-friendly. The back office, which we can't wait to show you, is informative, easy to use, and everything that you need will be at your fingertips. There are simple rules, and I'll repeat them. Bring 2 like-minded, like-hearted people and gift your $200. It's a fail-safe system and has various methods in the algorithm that keeps the boards moving. Nobody will ever get left behind. The cloning system avoids having multiple accounts, so you can clone up to 4 positions, which will give you a total of 5 positions on each level, and you can play them simultaneously. You can also control all 5 positions from your back office, and you can change the usernames, which is great. The innovative, groundbreaking algorithm takes care of the new members while also rewarding the existing members. And lastly, the support bot, which will be available in the back office, will answer all questions that you may have pertaining to Gift of Legacy, as well as to report misconduct. And remember, in the back office, there's going to be a chat option so that you can chat to members on your board. So no more having to look and send messages on Telegram groups looking for certain people. Everything will be at your fingertips.
And the support bot is going to be a self-learning support bot. It's like talking to Siri. You see how polite Candice is when she asks Siri. She doesn't say, Siri, open WhatsApp. She goes, Siri, please open WhatsApp. It was so funny.
It works quicker. It works quicker when you kind of.
So yes, you must ask the bot very nicely. You say, please, you'll get the answer quicker. All right, so the projected launch is the 5th of November. Oh my goodness gracious. I'm counting down the days at the moment. You know when it's like counting down to Christmas and you get that little chart you put on the wall and you open up every little door every day? I'm going to have that up on the wall, opening up to the 5th of November.
Just on this note, I would just like to mention that if you are new and you're excited as we are, and you want to join straight away, unfortunately you can't. So make sure you get hold of the person that invited you, get them to write your name on a list. And as soon as the accounts start opening, what will happen is the people that invited you will get a link. They'll send you the link and then you can join. So until then, just contact the person that invited you, and the people that are inviting people, the same thing. Make your lists. They are gold until we join. So thank you so much for joining us.